Welcome. This is Professor Ken, and welcome to this video explaining gain, faders, and the noise floor. Three of the most important things to consider when you are using a multi-track mixer. There's lots of aspects that we can go over in class, but I'm just going to go over gain, faders, and noise floor in this video. Number one, I want you to note this is a mixer, and I am plugged into track 2. I'm plugged into track 2, and I have an audio source, which is another audio source, which is my iPhone playing music in track 3. You cannot hear music right now because the gain is turned all the way down. What does this mean? Well, here's a difference between gain and fader. Gain controls the audio intensity of the audio source coming into the mixer, and the fader controls the audio intensity of each track going out of the mixer to the recording, to the headphones, to speakers in a venue of some sort, whatever the case may be. What does this mean? Well, as we've learned so far, hopefully, every microphone is different in multiple ways. This is a dynamic mic. This dynamic mic, by design, is going to be weaker than a condenser mic like a shotgun or lavalier. This basically means that if I step away from it like this, I'm going to sound very distant. And if I come closer to it, I'm going to sound right up in your face. And as you can see with the mixer that's on the screen, I've got nice, powerful levels as opposed to this where the levels are very weak. If this is a shotgun or a lavalier, I could stand that far back and still be very, very strong because condensers are very sensitive by design. How does this work with gain? Well, this dynamic microphone is going to need more gain to make it as powerful as a condenser in a mixer. So if we look at this, I'm going to turn the gain of this microphone down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, when the gain goes down, there's no signal. When the gain goes up, there is a signal. Now let's go down to the fader. I bring the fader down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Also the signal disappears. But what's the difference? Well, let's look at the mixer itself. Note the analog meter here. I just brought my fader down, but in order for you to hear me, I brought it back up. But when the fader is down, it's still recording readings because there's still a microphone signal coming in. So if you look at basically, when you look at your mixer, your faders will be down, but if you're seeing a reading, that means your gain is turned up because the gain controls the power of the microphone coming into the unit, and the meter shows you that audio is coming into the unit. But how do you set these gain settings? Well, this is an analog meter on the mixer. Analog meters, as you've learned in class, if you want a refresher, just go to the meters section. You want all your audio sources, individual audio sources, to hit 0 on an audio meter. And as you can see, when I'm talking here, I am hitting 0. If I have someone else plugged into, say, track 1, I would turn up their gain so they hit 0. If they're a condenser mic, I probably wouldn't have to turn up the gain as much due to the condenser's sensitivity and power to hit 0. Well, let's look at the faders again. You see that the fader goes all the way down, goes all the way up, where it's a little too loud, and then there's something in the middle called unity. On some faders, it'll be 0. On some mixers, it'll be 0. This fader, you'll see a U. It means unity. It means the same thing. What you want to do is you want to have an ideal world. You want to have all your faders set to unity or 0 when you do your gain. Let's give another example. I have music plugged into track number 3. So if I start playing it, you'll see the gain go up. And now the music is at 0. But note that the gain is in a slightly different position. The audio source coming in delivers more power than this dynamic mic, so it doesn't need as much gain. What does this mean? What this means is when you have multiple microphones or multiple audio sources on a set, you want to go down the line. You have a microphone plugged into track 1, have the person do a mic check until their gain hits 0 on an analog meter. Have another microphone in track 2, have that actor talk until they hit 0 on the analog meter. What if you're using a digital meter? You're seeing a digital meter on your computer screen right now in this Adobe Audition software. Well, again, go to the meters section in the modules. You will see that in the old days, everything was analog and 0 was the target. In the digital world, we want to stay away from 0. In the digital world, 0 means distortion. If I turn this gain all the way up, let's see if I can do it here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, what's going on? You see how that hit the red right there? That basically means distortion and unusable, or with each audio source coming into the mixer at equal level, this is what it will sound like. Let me turn the music up. So this is what faders are for. They control the mix. So when I'm speaking, I bring down the audio. The audio is still in there, but now my voice is in front. When I'm done talking, I bring the music back up, and I bring my voice down. When my microphone fader is down, you won't hear me. But since the gain has been already set, when you do need to hear me, we just need to bring the fader back up to its original position, and we're good. Let's use this as an example. If you ever watch the news and there's 2 anchors, anchor 1 will talk, and then anchor 2 will talk. When anchor 2 is talking, an audio mixer in the back room turns anchor 1's microphone down with the fader. And now my fader is back up after I'm done coughing. And since my gain was set at the beginning of the day, you just bring the fader back up to its original position, and you're good to go. When I say original position of the fader, what am I talking about? We always like to do our mic tests with our faders at unity or 0, our master fader at unity, also 0, and then we do our mic check with the gain. We get everyone set so everyone is hitting 0 on an analog meter or -20 on a digital meter. And then when the show starts, we can take our hands off the gain and just work the faders to get a nice mix. So in this case, let me bring the music back up. Okay, let's bring the music back down. Okay, that was a nice little experimental audio piece from a group whose name I can't pronounce, but they're really good. Let's listen to a little more, shall we? Let's bring it back up. All right. And that is basically how a mixer works.